Hey everybody, this is C-Dub for WoFoYo Pathfinding Resources. I'm over here on the WoFoYo mobile studio, also known as the Island, and it's absolutely beautiful out here. Wanted to get a little bit of fishing time in, kayaking time in on my vacation. Anyway, had a couple things that have come to mind. Been watching people talk about Roe versus Wade, talk about this, talk about that. And it reminds me of a couple episodes Bones and I put out several months ago called When the Devil Plays Victim. And basically the concept behind this is the enemy will keep trying to gain ground and keep trying to gain ground. And a lot of times he'll use our compassion against us so that we feel like we're not supportive of people or like we're bad people if we don't give in, like we don't care or we're not compassionate. And anything could be further from the truth. But as soon as we say no, then all of a sudden you just see, oh my God, I'm a victim. You're victimizing me, you're oppressing me. Well, first of all, we're calling BS on that because let's face it, most of you all that live in the United States that have never been outside of the United States have no idea what real oppression is any more than the man in the moon. Go to a third world country, see people that don't eat but once maybe every 2 or 3 days, if that. People that don't have a roof over their head, kids. And you know what? Those folks don't whine and cry as much as we do here in America. Let me tell you something else about being a victim. When you become a victim, or as soon as you let somebody convince you you're a victim, then all of a sudden that gives them a certain element of control because they're selling you the problem so they can also try and sell you the solution at a high fee. And that fee is usually giving up some amount of money or control to sign along with their program. So you're not oppressed. So also watch out who's trying to tell you that you're oppressed, who's trying to tell you that you're a victim, because usually there's some angle that they're working. Now, that doesn't mean you don't stand up for your rights. That doesn't mean that you don't take every kind of action you can if you feel you've been wronged. But while you're focusing on rights, make sure that you're also focused on being right as much as you are focusing on your rights. Also, don't forget that this creates kind of a root of bitterness in a lot of people. So always remember, walk in love and you can walk in freedom. And it's not just walking in love towards people you agree with. The trick is, and it's easier said than done, I know that. The trick is to walk in love with people that you disagree with. If you can walk in forgiveness and not let them get to you, it's one of those mind over matter things. If you don't mind, they don't really matter. Now, people might not like it, but that's okay. So anyway, just want to encourage you all. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep walking in love. And remember, if you're going to grow, you got to WoFoYo. Get in that word for yourself. Take her easy. Oh, and while we're at it, let's talk about one other thing. Being forced to accept responsibility for your actions is not oppression. It is not being made a victim. Most of us chose to do whatever we did. Sin is fun for a season, but when you have to face the consequence of that, there's really not a whole lot you can say. The grace of God covers a lot, but in the end, we are responsible for what we do, both good and bad.